a world where we have everything and it's still not enough, we're often left wondering, is this really it?
Deep inside, you know there's more to life. You're ready to leave behind the old push your way through and claim the deeper, more meaningful life that's calling you.
That's what we invite you to explore with us.
We're your hosts,
Stephanie Allen
and Maren Stephanie. And this is the Soulful Leader Podcast.
Yay! Hi, welcome to the Soulful Leader Podcast. We're going to be talking about something very obvious around trying to reach a goal and maybe struggling to get there. And we're going to literally approach this from a very non-obvious way. And why I say that is that there are lots of things out there on the internet on how to reach your goals. There's a lot of workshops, there's a lot of training, there's a lot of books. And yet, if those all were working, we all would have manifested what we'd all manifest what our ideals are already. So what if there was a different way that is totally unique to you and to each and every one of us? And I thought, what a great way to unfold maybe some new ways of wiring our brain and experiencing something that's very much uplifting and motivational.
I love that. I think that we do, not everything is meant to happen all at once. What I mean is the reason that there's so much material out there around goals and goal setting is because we're at different points in our life, and like everybody's at a different point in their lives. And, a teenager is just learning about that, whereas somebody in their 30s has been setting goals for a while. Somebody in their 50s is like, I'm so done with goals, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I say that as somebody in their 50s, and I did probably in my 30s decide I'm so done with goals because they weren't working for me. And yet there does need to be all this material out there because everybody's at a different place. So it's not a right or wrong. We're not saying that setting goals and doing things is right or wrong. It just is, maybe you're at that point now in your life where you're going, you know what? I've been there. I've done that. And it doesn't work for me.
And I don't want to do it the same old way. There's got to be another way.
Or maybe it's been working for me and there's something else. Yeah. And this is that something else, which is kind of exciting. And, it doesn't speak to everybody.
So when I think of, the most common one when I think of goal setting is SMART. Setting SMART goals. And that means, as an acronym, it's specific, meaning you're very clear about what it is you want. And it's measurable. The M is measurable, meaning that there's a way of tracking your progress. It's achievable, which is the A, which means it's realistic and attainable within your resources and abilities. Then it's R for relevant. It aligns with your overall objectives and it contributes towards your vision, that which you want to live into. And it's also time bound, meaning that there's an actual deadline. So there's an accountability to it too. These are all really great, very rational ways of getting to your goals. However,
I noticed that you were laughing. Maybe we want to start with the one you were laughing about.
Oh, achievable. I think of achievable, right?
Yeah.
And so what I was going to say is the biggest one I'm laughing about is achievable, because really what Maren and I are about as a soulful leader is transcending and including, our gifts and strengths and all that, but actually becoming, and I don't want to say more than what we are, but becoming who we're actually being called to become.
I would say more. I just say greater than, right? So I think that especially anybody who's listening to us, they are looking to break out. Like there is something more that's calling me.
Right?
Because
we both believe that, we're here for a reason. There's a reason we're here. And that's not always very obvious about why we're here. And I don't really think it's supposed to be obvious, because I think it would scare the bejeebies out of most of us, because it's going to require that we have to let go of who we think we are. It's like, what I mean by that is like, we have these personality, or we have these gifts and strengths, and we're like, yeah, but I'm really good at this, or I really am that kind of person in this kind of environment. I don't want to change that. And we're not necessarily saying that you have to change it, but we're talking about transcending, meaning including it and transforming it, making it more deep and more broad than what it is right now. And to also then connect with being in service. to
Yes.
something greater than what you can even imagine right now.
I just want to go back to transcend and include because that's something that we say a lot and it means something to us. And I just want to kind of help everybody out there that maybe like it sounds like jargon because it is. It's our jargon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It means becoming more than and also not letting go of who you like you don't
Your
have to
essence.
right.
Yeah.
So if you think of nesting dolls, right? It's not saying I'm going to become something different. It's the next level of the nesting doll. So I get to keep all of the skills and all of the awesomeness that I already am. And I get to be bigger and better than ever, right? So it's
Yeah. You grow.
learning. I grow and I become something even more, even bigger, even better. Like transcend means that it's more than I can actually comprehend.
Yeah. So when we come back to achievable and it's meaning attaining, attaining a goal within your resources and abilities, I think that's bullshit. That's absolutely, it's like, really, I actually need to
Stretch.
source out. Yeah, I got to stretch. I got to step out of my comfort zone. I need to source out new resources. I need to grow new abilities or strengthen the ones I already have to even like grow them. So I'm like, when I think of smart goals, it's like you're just like on a very flat land. There's no hills, there's no valleys, there's no turns. It's just flat, flat like a desert, boring, flat.
Well, and I think maybe, and I don't know this for sure, it's like we tend to like guaranteed results,
Hmm.
which the reason we tend to like it is because we've been conditioned to like it. It's actually not satisfying. When you get a guaranteed result, you might get a quick dopamine hit, but then you're on to the next thing. Like
Yeah.
that's when, if you've ever eaten an entire bag of chips, guess
Yes, I
what?
have.
First of all, guaranteed result. Pop it in your mouth. Oh, that tastes so good. Second of all, not satisfying. I need another one.
Hmm.
Third of all, now I feel sick.
Now I've eaten the whole bag, and I'm like,
I've
why
eaten
did
the
I
whole
even bother
bag.
do that?
I regret
Hmm.
it. I'm not happy. I wasted my time. I wasted my energy. I feel like my resource, like all of the stuff. Well,
Like,
you know
how
what?
many amazing achievers have gone out there, achieve their goal, and go, great, now what?
Right.
This is it?
And
Like,
the addiction that we get
mhm.
into is because like that wasn't it. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. And so smart goals are not so smart. They have their place. So here's the deal. I think that they have their place. And for me, their place is within a bigger set of goals.
Yeah.
So when I
And
need to get to the next step, I might employ a smart goal. I might not.
and so here's the thing too, is that when we're talking about how we are presencing becoming who we're actually meant to become in this life, I can't figure that out. I'm not supposed to figure it out. But the DNA coding is within me, just like within a butterfly, the DNA coding is the caterpillar inside. So the caterpillar has the intelligence to actually become the butterfly, but it forgets. It doesn't remember it's supposed to become. So it goes through a lot of processes and then poof, it becomes this butterfly. And I'm sure it has a few things to say about that process. But from the butterfly's point of view, it's extraordinary. It's like they've gone from a whole bunch of legs, you know, face down on the ground to absolute freedom and flying in multiple dimensions and in ways. And I truly believe that's a metaphor for our humanity, is that we are actually meant to evolve.
So I want to use that with the smart goals because
Yeah.
if you're a caterpillar and you're setting smart goals, there's no vision of becoming a butterfly. There's no like,
Yeah.
oh, I think I want to fly one day. The smart goal would be, I want to eat that next leaf. Oh, maybe I get to that plant. Like maybe the big,
Right.
hairy, audacious goal those are another type of goal that you can set. Big, hairy, audacious goals. Maybe that would be like, oh, I want to get to that plant over there and eat that leaf.
Right.
Right? There is no concept for a caterpillar of what it might be to become a butterfly. And that's part of the reason that when they go into their cocoon, their own immune
Immune
cells,
system.
right, tries to kill off the vision, the idea of becoming a butterfly. And when I was trying earlier to find an example of transcendence, that's a perfect example of transcendence, right? The butterfly still has the essence of the caterpillar in it. It's transcended and included. It used everything that the caterpillar collected in order to become, it needed all of that to become the butterfly. And SMART goals don't help us to tap into that. So what does?
Exactly. And so when I think of SMART goals, it's like the caterpillar and it's on a flat land and it's looking for the next leaf to eat. And so the future's in front of it and the past is behind it, and they just keep going through the same old cycles. And I think we can often feel that way so many times in our own life. It's like, okay, here I go again. Next goal. What if, this is the non-obvious thing, what if actually our past is beneath our feet? It's underneath us. It's below us. It's of which we are standing on. All the choices that we made or didn't make are all underneath us.
So it's like a support system.
It's a support system. So it's not right or wrong or good or bad. It's where we are now. But our dreams, our goals, and ideals are above us. But we can't see them. Doesn't mean that we, and we're not meant to figure that out because we've never been there before. And if we've been there before, well, then it's not really above us, is it? It's right in front of us. It's our present. So it's like what we want to do is imagine that there is a higher calling, a higher purpose to our life, a higher mission, vision, all those parts, and it's above us and we haven't been there. And so can we be present long enough to be in the unknown, in the uncertainty? There's got to be practices to do that.
Yeah.
And so in order to go to the next level, which is above us, we've got to raise our standards. Meaning, if you're accepting less than what you're worth, and you might be saying, well, I don't even know what I'm worth. Well, then if you say that, you probably are accepting less than what you're worth. And so like discovering, what does that even mean? So being in the question, being in the question, being in the unknown.
You say that there has to be some processes, right? You have to, right now, we know how to live in this flat horizontal, be the caterpillar, get the next thing on this level.
Right.
So there is a different skill set for raising above that and saying, okay, I can have all of this and more and be that higher version of myself, be the butterfly version of myself. And even the caterpillar, it goes into a practice, into a cocoon, right?
That's right.
Where it has practices that it's doing to become and evolve. So I loved where you were going with that, of the standards of standing on something and having practices to help us to, what does that mean to have a practice? Do you have, so for you, what does that mean for you to have a practice?
To have a practice, I think there's a practice of not figuring something out. Now, when I say that, it's like, I got to have the answer. I got to figure this out. what's my next step? All those different things.
Well,
I have to have a practice. Exactly. That's how I'm trained. So that training has been such the default. So when I don't have an answer to something, or I don't know which direction I need to go, there can be some anxiety about that because that's how I'm trained. And so having a practice of sitting in the uncomfortability, that would be the caterpillar in the chrysalis, sitting in the uncomfortability, knowing that there's change that needs to happen, that there's space that needs to happen. Can I be uncomfortable without fixing or forcing something?
So I love this because it gives us, if somebody wanted to start on this journey of like, okay, I'm hearing you. I'm in that, I've been through eating the bag of chips, meaning the bag of chips being eating all the goals in my life and I'm still hungry. That's one place where I could start, is being comfortable in the unknown and not needing to just achieve another goal.
Right. But you also have to be aware, meaning you're present enough for what is coming towards you. So again, you're sitting on the ground on your foundation, but there's something above you that's actually reaching down to pull you up. Not pull you forward in that way, in that directional, but actually evolve. But if I'm not practicing being aware that that even exists, then I'm not looking for it or I'm not ready for it when it comes. I'm distracted. And that's what our world does. It completely distracts us. This thing over here and that shiny object over there and this da da da. And just because I can do all those things doesn't mean I should. And so to be able to sit and totally not feel guilty about doing no thing. I didn't say doing nothing. I'm doing no thing. I am still and present, like a cat waiting for the mouse at the mouse hole. The cat looks totally chill. It's relaxed. It almost looks like it's sleeping. But what it's actually doing is it's drawing energy towards it so that when that mouse pops out, you can damn well know that cat is freaking ready and it's going to spring like a spring loaded gun. Like it's going to be like a mouse trap. There it is. Bam, gone. We don't learn how to do that.
No, we learned how to spend our life force instead of like
Yeah.
condensation of like pulling it in and being still in order to have it there when we need it. There are two things that, as you were talking, I was thinking about. One of them is there still needs to be a towards place, meaning that there needs to be an intention. So we're not saying that you just let go of all your goals and just float through the river of life, right?
Right. Like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Whatever it will be, it'll just happen. It doesn't. You also have
We
to practice being awake and aware.
Right. So we are co-creators in our lives, meaning that we're in a conversation with life of I say, you know what, I'd really like to, I'm going to use traditional language, which is lose some weight. I want to drop 10 pounds. Well, technically I don't want to drop 10 pounds because when I lose weight or I drop something, my brain says, "Oh, we should pick that back up again." So we're going to
Hmm.
lighten up. So if I say, okay, I want to lighten up. And so that might be part of the conversation that I've already been in of I say to the universe, I want to lose 10 pounds. And the universe says back, are you sure you want to lose it? Because we might find that again.
And we
Oh,
might
okay.
find 20 actually. Because if
Right.
we want to
When
help
you
you out
lose
here.
something and you think, oh, I'll help you out. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, that was a helpful key and
Hmm.
trick. Let's up level that, my goal, quote unquote goal, my intention, and say, okay, well, then let's lighten up a little bit. Now I'm in a bigger conversation because lightening up applies to lots of things in my life.
Yeah.
And suddenly I'm in a bigger conversation of, oh, that might mean letting go of some of the internal baggage that I have. And I'm having this whole deeper conversation, which is what I was meant to have in the first
Well, your
place.
behavior changes. Like when you lighten up, how you are present to someone or something, you show up differently. You're more lighthearted. You might laugh more. You might play more. You might enjoy your life more. You're lightening up, right? Which is exactly what, and then all of a sudden you're moving differently. You're breathing differently. You sleep differently. All these different things. And next thing you know, your nervous system is no longer hijacked. So you don't have those hormones that are flowing that are creating you to like have histamines and irritations to your bones and joints and inflammation happening. All of that goes away. So now you're not holding water weight. You're letting it go.
So
In a
this
good
is,
in the way it's like it's washing away from you. You're
yeah, so
shedding it.
I love this because this is exactly the deeper level, the metamorphosis. You're
Right.
moving to a whole nother level instead of flatland. I want to lose weight. I go on a diet. I do all the things. I lose my weight. Oh shit, it's back. Right.
Right.
And we've all been there. And so, what would it look like to address that from a completely different place of, okay, what if instead I'm still, like you said, I'm in the conversation with life of what do I need to know about this that's actually going to up level me so that I'm actually standing on a totally different if I think of a high-rise building and
Hmm.
I've gone to the next level of the building. I'm on another floor and I can see a higher perspective and everything's changed. And all of those things that you've mentioned, those are things that they're not talked about losing weight.
Right.
And yet it is what allows us to lighten up and become a different person. You can't fly as a butterfly with all of the weight of the caterpillar.
Yeah,
You
you
need
got
to
to lighten
lighten
up.
up.
Which is what happens. I think, maybe that part in the chrysalis, I think there's always a part of us that's in a chrysalis that is holding on to something that we are being asked to transform. We're being asked to let it go. So all of us have, yeah, I think every single one of us has um, something that we are incubating in that
Mm.
chrysalis that is requiring us to transform something. We need to reach outside of our comfort zone. We need to let go and not try to figure something out and trust the unknown. And that takes practice and that takes skill and it takes help. I don't think we can do it on our own. I don't think we're supposed to do it on our own.
We're not.
We're social beings. We're meant to have somebody who can coach us. It's like the butterfly on the other side of the chrysalis. That butterfly is saying, "Hey, you're going to love it. It's amazing out here." But inside the chrysalis, you're like, "WTF? What the hell is this?" Like, I didn't ask for this. Why is this happening to me? And where's my goal setting list? And it's not working.
So I want to go back to the one chunk that a place where people can start of that unknown and the stillness. And I think of that as what I also said before of the conversation. So it's maybe not saying it is definitely not saying don't set goals. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're saying that what would it look like to have an up-leveled version of that actually satisfies you instead of saying, oh my God, that's not it, and just eating another one of those chips, right? Chips being the goals. So the skill to start to develop is sitting in the unknown instead of, I want to lose 10 pounds and head down, butt up, go, 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 do all the things. Say, I want to lose 10 pounds. What does that look like? How might that be different in my life? And
And if
then,
you'd lightened up by 10 pounds, is
right. So
that different?
then you start to pay attention and you hear somebody like us saying, oh, use different language. Okay, there's some evidence. Think of yourself as a detective, and now you're like finding the evidence for how to do that differently. What's the piece that's reaching down to help you up? So if
Mhm.
I were to literally, Stephanie does this sometimes and I love it, so I'm going to do it this time. Literally, if you reach your hands up,
Yeah.
you would feel somebody pulling you up, helping you. And so you pull down and you add your own strength to their strength. And now, whoop, look at that. You're on the new level. And so those are the things that being the detective in your life of finding those places that's like, oh, that helped me up to a different, oh, I have a different concept of that. Oh, I haven't thought about it like that. And now you're collecting that evidence of how to do it differently. And suddenly you'll find yourself, you're not the same person that you were, and you're thinking about it differently. And you have a robustness that wasn't there before.
And a presence to what wants to happen for you.
Yes.
Instead of having your ego try to run the whole goal setting thing. The ego needs to be your friend within it, but it doesn't need to be the leader.
Yeah.
Your heart and your soul is actually the leader, and that's hidden within us for a reason, so that we can have a practice to connect with it and ask the question, what wants to happen for us?
Yeah. I think that just in what you just said, I think we could probably do 3 more podcasts. And we won't overwhelm you today. We'll let you chew on that. Don't you like that for the whole eat
There
thing?
you go.
So you guys get to chew on that. And we'd love to hear your feedback on it. So if you would drop us a note either on Facebook or LinkedIn, where you can find us at the Soulful Leaders, or just email us at support@tslp.life. So we have more than just the podcast. We're a whole project of soulful leadership, of really learning to lead from the inside out. And we have an email list. If you're new to the channel and would like to join us, you can find us at tslp.life. And we'd love to hear from you. So I'll see you next time on the Soulful Leader Podcast.
And that wraps up another episode of the Soulful Leader podcast with your hosts, Stephanie Allen
and Maren Stephanie. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to dive deeper, head over to our website at thesoulfulleaderpodcast.com.
Until next time.